Made with just the right combination of spices and baked using a special technique, these are truly the best meatballs you will ever eat. Hi mindful moms and dads, Kristen here. As someone who suffers from a chronic disease, I believe homemade is best, but it doesn't need to be complicated. Now I know it's a bold statement to say that I have the best meatball recipe, but I'm telling you, the comments speak for themselves. There are over 400 5-star reviews, and one of the latest comments went something like this. It's from Maria, and she shares, "This is absolutely the best meatball recipe I have ever made. I usually freeze leftover pasta dishes. We ate these till they were gone and wished we had more. Have thrown out all other meatball recipes, will never try another. Can't say enough of how great these are." I could share more reviews with you, but I think it's more important that I share with you the actual recipe so you can enjoy these meatballs yourself. So let's put on our kitchen capes and make the best homemade meatballs. You want to start by spraying a large rim sheet pan with cooking spray. Your pan must be rimmed, and you're going to see why here in just a minute. We also want to preheat our oven to 450 degrees. Yes, 450 degrees. I know that sounds high, but it's part of the magic of this recipe. The high heat will crisp up the exterior of our meatballs and keep the interior nice and tender so that they'll have the texture of fried meatballs without the excess oil. Now for the actual meatballs, we need to mix together the binders of the meatballs, which is essentially just the seasonings and what holds the meatballs together. And what I add as the binders, let me tell you, it's what makes this recipe stand out above the rest. To a large mixing bowl, add in a half a cup of breadcrumbs. You can use either plain breadcrumbs or panko breadcrumbs. I really like to use panko because they're a lot lighter and give the meatballs some texture while keeping them light and fluffy. But truly, you can use plain breadcrumbs, not seasoned breadcrumbs, if that's all you have on hand. We're also going to add in 1/4 cup of reduced sodium beef stock. Be sure to use reduced sodium so you can control the salt level in the meatballs. 1/4 cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Not the time to use the stuff that's pre-grated in a green jar. Also add in 1/4 cup of milk, 1 egg, 1/4 cup of chopped fresh parsley, 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, 1/2 tablespoon of salt, 1/2 tablespoon of ground black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes, and 1 tablespoon of garlic. I know this sounds like a lot of everything, and it is, but trust me, it's going to give these meatballs so much flavor. Mix up the binders until everything is nice and incorporated. You can't overwork the binders, but you can overwork the meat, so now's the time to mix. For the meat, I recommend using lean ground beef, like 90-10 or 85-15. You can certainly use ground chicken or ground turkey if that's what you have on hand. We're gonna add the 2 pounds of meat to our binders and then just combine until everything is well dispersed. Remember, this is the time to not overwork the meat. You just want things incorporated. Don't overmix or you'll have tough meatballs. To shape our meatballs, we wanna make sure that we get them all the same size so that they cook up evenly. You want each meatball to be about a tablespoon of the meatball mixture, so you can use a tablespoon measuring spoon or a medium-sized cookie scoop. You wanna roll until they're nice and uniform in a ball, and then place on the prepared rimmed baking sheet. Okay, now for the part that's gonna make you think I have lost my mind, and I probably have, but not when it comes to this recipe. I'm gonna pour 3/4 cup of beef stock around the meatballs. The beef stock is going to steam our meatballs, but it's also going to evaporate in that hot heat of the oven. So as it evaporates, our meatballs will crisp up, but the moisture will keep the meat super tender and super moist, which is exactly what you want. And pop your meatballs into the oven and bake for 25 minutes. You can serve these meatballs plain. You can eat them straight off the pan like I've been known to do, or of course you can serve them over pasta with your favorite spaghetti sauce. No matter how you serve them, I know you will agree, they truly are the best meatballs ever. You seriously must try this recipe. And if you wanna learn how to master steak, let me teach you how. In my next video, I'm gonna show you how to perfectly cook steak. Until then, happy cooking.